Yeah, so this definitely should have been a two-person job. I think we might have to chalk this one up as another loss.
A little bit different than what we're used to, huh?
What's up, Internet? For those of you that are new here, my name is Drew. I'm the owner of a digital marketing agency called DS Media. We specialize in organic content distribution and creation for independent businesses in the New England and US area. Today we're taking a drive a few hours away. It's just before 7 a.m. right now. The sun's coming up to meet up with a client of ours, Belanger Tree Care. My buddy Phil's company. They're arborists up in the Central Maine area. We're going to be rolling to a job site with them in hopes of garnering some new media for some new content. We're actually long overdue. We've had a few, let's call them snafus or technical difficulties trying to get up there over the last couple of weeks. Round one left me and Joe on the side of the road with 4 punctured tires. That was a blast. Round two, we got up there just to sit around for 4 hours. Unfortunate, there was some kind of a communication issue between the contractor and Phil's crew, and they were unable to figure out where they were supposed to be working for the day. Phil's crew is a ton of fun to work with. You know, they're wicked nice guys. They're wicked funny. We've been working with them for a little over a year now, I think. We're coming up on a year, give or take. Long enough that they're pretty comfortable with us being up there, and so they're pretty natural on camera. They just kind of go about their thing. They trust us to do our job and stay out of the way. Because of that, and because Phil trusts us to do our job, he falls into the same category as all of our other successful clients. Because they let us do our thing and do what we do best, they get some of the best results. Belanger Tree Care is one of our most successful clients as far as organic reach and impressions go. I think we average right now just under 1 million impressions a month. Now, I'm rolling solo today, which is going to be a little bit tough. You know, they've got multiple trucks. They've got a crew of like, I think 10 on this, give or take. And it's just me to cover this for the morning. Hopefully I can get what I need. You know, we've got the drone, we've got all 3 cameras, so I'll try to swap back and forth between video and still, aerial and ground. You know, we'll see what we can get. The job site's a little bit different than what we normally work with them on. Normally we go up for residential jobs because those are easier to cover and are more stationary. This one's actually a utility contract where I believe they're clearing trees and branches along power lines. We're a little less prepared than I normally would like to be going into a shoot like this, but generally speaking, those are usually when I get the best results. We'll see how it goes. I'm optimistic. Rolling? We're off on the road, and I can already tell that today's not going to go according to plan at all. The flaggers showed up. The trucks are getting split. So they've got 3 trucks up here. One's off doing like side work and stuff like that. I'm not even going to worry about that. I think that's Tom and Brandon. They're not going to be doing anything consistent. The other 2 are going to be set up along roads nearby each other, but not next to each other. According to John, the guy kind of coordinating everything up here, the sites are going to be like right next to the Bangor airport, which, if you guys know anything about flying drones, means I'm probably not going to be able to put mine up. To be 100% honest, I already don't love this. We're on a major roadway, which isn't the end of the world. It at least means there's sidewalks. It's super bright out. Clear skies aren't the best to shoot in. You know, thankfully I've got filters and ND filters and whatnot. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I think this is gonna be tough. The trees themselves are small, which obviously that's a part of the work that they do, right? You know, it's utility work, it makes perfect sense. But as far as visual appeal, it's not quite as captivating as, let's say, you know, several thousand, 1,000-pound oak or whatever coming down in somebody's backyard 20 feet from their house, right? So there's a little less drama to it. Now, my goal from that, when we run into shoots like this, where there's not a ton that we can do in the moment, like there's no story here, so to speak, the primary goal is just to grab as many different shots as possible and craft the story afterward, right? So like there's certain times that you can show up to something and you can really just record what's happening in the moment. For instance, the residential jobs for arborists, that's a great example, right? You start with a big tree. The big tree's a problem, otherwise they wouldn't be there. They're there to remove the tree. The story is, how did they do that safely and effectively, and how do we tell that story, right? We don't have to craft a story afterward. In shoots like this, we don't have that opportunity, right? So we're not going to have the opportunity to just record a story. Our job from here is going to be make sure that we can craft a story from the bits and pieces that we grab during the shoot today. So I'm going to focus on a lot of close-ups. I'm going to focus on a lot of individual actions, right? A couple of establishing shots just to make sure that we can set the scene if we need to. But it's going to be a lot of independent movements, things like that. So like chainsaws starting up, somebody using the handsaw on something that's too close to a line to chop with the chainsaw, the trucks pulling up and setting up, whatever it happens to be, the signs being set up and taken down, all of that stuff. That's what's going to allow us to have the elements to craft our story afterwards. Yeah, so this definitely should have been a two-person job. They're already an eighth of a mile up the road. I've gotten like 4 shots, and they're already cruising down the street. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. I've already lost the truck. I've got an eye on both of the flaggers, and I'm inside of their area, so the truck should be here, but I don't see no fucking truck. Big bonus, we are right next to the airport. There's nothing I can do with that. Plot twist, I actually just found another one of the trucks. Gonna see what I can do about sticking to this one. Maybe I'll have better luck here with these guys. So good news, we got the update from John. The flagger crew is actually going to be coming down and working the intersection that we're at right now, which means if I park at this business over here and wait a few, they should come to me. And if that's the case, that means I can set up a little bit. I might be able to get some good shots of, them kind of pulling up. I might be able to make something out of that. Like, there's hope here. This is how these days go. Like, you just got to work with what you got, Here's a huge problem with where we're at, though. See that 0 feet? That's because the airport is right there and we're right there. Bangor Airport's fucking us up. There's not much that we can do about that. Like, we're just not going to be able to put the drone in the air. So, GoPros and handhelds it is. How far down this road are you guys going?
This is it, because we got to set up right there, right at the light, and they don't feel comfortable doing it with just 2 people, so.
And after a brief stint of 2 branches, that ended up being a dead end as well. The flaggers that they have with them aren't willing to do the intersection with 2 people, which, I kind of get, but I don't know, shouldn't that have been planned out before? We're gonna head over to another road and wait for them to hopefully give us an update on what section of that road they're going to be clearing instead. This would be so much easier if I could just stick the fucking drone in the air, but no, we gotta be right next to an airport. It's not their fault, I'm just pissed. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do. We're sitting in a parking lot waiting for one of the crew to let us know where they're going to end up next. But my understanding is they're having difficulty currently figuring out exactly what they should be prioritizing now that the other job isn't able to be completed because of the because of the town. This sucks. We've got about 25 raw files on the camera right now, plus maybe 2 shots on the drone from the parking lot where they were at. So that's, I mean, for those of you that aren't familiar with this kind of stuff, that's pretty much nothing. I mean, we might get like a couple minutes of usable footage out of that. This is just part of the game sometimes. Like, we work with a lot of small businesses that are very active in what they do, and so a lot of it is, it's a lot like journalism. You kind of have to go with the flow, and the story builds itself as you're there, as you're figuring out what's going on with whatever the job happens to be. And that's definitely true with tree work, right? It's a very skill-oriented thing. It's contract work. It's, you know, it's job by job. The unfortunate reality is, like, sometimes that bites you in the ass, because not every aspect of anyone's job is interesting all the time, right? Like, this is a great example. You know, we can show the stuff in front of the camera of what we're doing all the time, but the fact of the matter is, like, for every hour that we spend out filming, there's somewhere between 3 and 10 hours spent in front of a computer. Visually, it obviously isn't that appealing. It's just one of those things that we have to work around, and some days it just kind of hits you a little bit harder than others. We're going to make it work regardless. It's just a matter of how much we're going to have from this specific shoot and what we can do with it. This is one of the parts of business that nobody warns you about, and this is actually a great lesson for anybody who's interested in doing something on their own. Nobody talks about the amount of things that go wrong in the moment administratively that prevent you from doing whatever skill, service, selling whatever product you happen to have, right? And this is universally true for just about every business that you can think of. Most of the time, the hang-ups and the reason you don't get the, you know, product or service or whatever that you were hoping for isn't because the person selling it or offering it is bad at what they do. It's that there was some kind of hang-up in the process of getting you whatever you requested, right? We're trying one more street where another one of the trucks should be. If this works out, awesome, because this is way less traffic than the other couple places. I found them. I just rounded the corner and found them. That's not the street that they told me they were going to be on, but it is them. Okay, all right. Well, at least... Okay. They're moving up again. All right, let's see what we can do with this. Last location that we can test whether we can actually put the drone up or not. Even I'll take 50 feet at this point. That'd be fine. That'd be something. Well, that's that.
A little bit different than what we're used to, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
So you put on your drawback. Yeah, dude.
We are exception for this kind of shit. Like, we do hustle, and most other guys don't, because they have the we're paid by the hour mentality. But we're trying to help them grow, so that's why we hustle. And we're just a bunch of hardworking dudes.
Finally got some success, so we at least got some shots of the guys up in the boom, up in the truck, up in the trees. We got a couple of close-up ground shots, which is great. Definitely have enough to work with now. There's enough there to experiment with, and that's what's important. But the rest of my day is driving home and sitting in front of a computer, so I don't know how much more of this video there will be, but let's head back. Yeah. I managed to record my whole day today, but I didn't record an outro to this video. So you gotta say bye to the people.
Good night, everybody.
That's it?
That's all I got.
All right, we're ending with the Queen's
Let's have
Wave.
one martini. That's all I got.